the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Sprite.
We honor our nation's heroes on this Veterans Day and welcome you to NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson.
Wait till you're announced.
Welcome, basketball fans, to a very special Veterans Day edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. We're live from Portland, where the Trailblazers have home court advantage. Taking a look at Charlotte. Well, it's been an improvement this year over last season. They made a lot of adjustments, and happy to see that they translate into some tangible results.
Checking out Charlotte, they're a team that came almost completely off the pace this season. Nobody saw them being in the position they're in.
And I'll tell you what, the longer we wait for the bottom to drop out, the more unlikely it gets. I think we've reached the stage where we can officially say they're for real.
Here's the starting group for the Charlotte Hornets. Pairing in the backcourt, it's Walker and Henderson. Draymond Green is out there with Lance Stevenson. And it's Bogut in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And so here's Portland, fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be much of a challenge for them in that game. It seemed like they scored at will. Not much defense that they were facing.
Yep, they had the defense on its heels early the entire game, and actually nearly the entire game. And no matter what unit was out there, it looked like a mismatch to me.
Well, Wes Matthews started off last season on fire. Over 50% from long range over the first quarter of the season. And as time went on, he cooled off a bit, but as a whole, just an excellent year for Matthews. Probably the best of his career.
Now, here's Lillard. He had 16 points in the win against Denver. Aldridge, no luck.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Here's Stevenson. That's good. Stevenson's got his first points in this one.
And they'd love to have a few more easy baskets like that to kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
And looks to Aflalo. Back to Lillard. Wesley Matthews on. Looking for Aldridge. He gets it. Green with the rebound. The Hornets have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Stevenson drives in.
Lance Stevenson, a most improved candidate for the Pacers last season. He said vehemently that he was staying with the Pacers despite his impending free agency. But something must have changed. Not quite sure exactly what it was. He ended up taking a deal with the Hornets for less guaranteed money. I think partly driven to get to the end of that second contract quicker.
Here's Aflalo. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
On the wing, Green. And stolen by Aldridge. Wesley Matthews on the wing. He had 10 points in the win against Denver.
And Kevin, a lot of those points came at the line. So he was very aggressive with his game, attacking the D and capitalizing on those free throws.
Now, here's Lillard. 5 to shoot. Another shot. Lopez, no luck. Charlotte in the lead. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That's foul number 2 for him.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
Steve Blake's checked in for Portland. Green against Aldridge. Here's Bogut. And Lopez with the block. Aflalo dishes to Blake. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. From the baseline. Matthews, no good. Charlotte, their last game, a win against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
And you know what was most impressive? They've wasted very few possessions in that game. They ran their offense close to perfection.
That's what we call a mute button game in front of a hostile crowd. They never let the fans get into it. Had them on their hands the whole time.
Now here is Aldridge after Henderson's miss. And Aflalo wide open. He shoots. Drills it from outside. Aflalo's got 5 points so far.
He can become a weapon for them if he gets going early from long range.
Aflalo against Henderson. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
So much of Charlotte's struggles the last few years can be attributed to small things, but they cleaned up one of them last year. They rarely got themselves in foul trouble. They defended really solidly under Steve Clifford.
Taking a look at some stats on Charlotte last year in regards to fouling, this team committed the second fewest fouls in the league overall.
And Matthews gets it to go.
Boy, Blake is so good at finding open teammates.
Stevenson drives in from down low and blocked, but he recovers it. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
How about a look at some of the numbers for Robin Lopez? Solid numbers last season. 7th in field goal percentage. He was an intimidator in the paint, ranking in the top 10 in the league in blocked shots.
And Steve, as for his top 10 field goal percentage ranking, I mean, you don't get to be such an accurate shooter unless you're a smart shooter. Sounds like you, partner. You never saw this guy force a shot.
And Charlotte, Steve, was in good company as I believe the Spurs fouled the least.
Well, good teams never give away free points, and Charlotte has made a good habit of not putting teams on the line with lazy defense.
And finished off by Bogut. Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't the plan for the D on that trip.
And I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that finish.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
Here's Blake following the score by Charlotte. Knocked away. Stolen by Stevenson. And Walker with a clear path to the hoop. Hammers it in after taking it the length of the floor.
And once he took off, it looked like the defense just had no interest in getting in his way.
That's one where you just give up the 2 points and move on.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. This is their first chance this season playing Charlotte.
Well, they thought they'd handle this club last year both times, but they actually split the 2 season meetings.
Here's Blake. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Now here's Stevenson. And Walker kicks to Henderson. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Henderson's got 5 points so far. Trailblazers trail by 4. Blake passes to Aldridge. And Matthews kicks to Aflalo. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. 6 to shoot. That's a 2 from Matthews. Good D by Stevenson. Hornets leading by 4. Now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Terry Stotts.
He talked about the impact of opposing big man Andrew Bogut, saying there just aren't that many 7-footers with his kind of game. A great interior defender first and foremost. We can't him when we attack the rim. He's got size, strength, and we can't bully us for bounds. Let's keep Bogut from having the game, guys.
Thank you. Here's Blake, stolen. And then Henderson with the jam.
Start they've gotten off for them, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
And it's not just their hot offense here. I mean, they're playing very strong defense too, guys.
Yeah, he's seen enough of this interior scoring that his defense is giving up. So the message during this timeout is time to lock things up inside.
You know, sometimes a group can just get spaced out on defense. They're not connected and playing 5 as 1, and usually a timeout can help you refocus and recalibrate that defense.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Chris Kamen's checked in for Lopez. Wright comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And McCollum subbed in for Aaron Aflalo. On the wing, Stevenson. He's covered by Matthews. Chalmers dishes to Walker. Good, and it's Chalmers with the assist that time. 9 points for Kemba Walker. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Hornets.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
I think they're also getting some good looks in transition, doing a nice job of running the floor.
Here's Charlotte now. They're on a 19-7 run. Wes Matthews undrafted out of Marquette. What a career he has carved out with the Blazers, Steve.
Well, you think about it, he started as a rookie with the Jazz. And, then the rare restricted free agent that was allowed to change teams. Utah decided not to match Portland's offer. And what a deal that turned out to be for the Blazers. He's been a solid starter for them for 4 years now. This has not at all been the kind of performance they've needed out of him.
The offensive rebound and the basket by Stevenson. Stevenson's got 8. Here's Blake. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change.
And Matthews really does play with a chip on his shoulder. I mean, long overlooked coming up. Was undrafted, but found a way to make it into the league. He plays tough physical defense. He plays through injury. You can feel and see that drive that he carries to the game. Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Kaman lays it up and banks it in. Kaman's got his first 2 points.
You see the defense get caught standing around that time, giving up an easy second chance bucket.
Simply need more of an effort on the boards there, Steve.
Now here's Walker. He picked up 15 points in their last win against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
Yeah, not to mention 4 big steals on the night. He's getting it done at both ends of the floor.
McCollum with the ball, guarded by Walker. McCollum passes to Blake. Came in a screen on Chalmers. Puts up a 3. Matthews, no good.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And the basket by Chalmers.
Well, they've yet to string many stops together.
Just seems like they've been a step slow here.
Trailblazers trail by 16. Here's Blake. Over to the wing. Now here's McCollum. The tray. And Blake is good for 3. Blake's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Hornets lead by 13. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break.
This Wednesday, November 12th, Paul George and the Indiana Pacers go up against Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat, an Eastern Conference showdown. Make sure to catch it.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And the Hornets have been rolling right along, haven't they?
How about the shooting so far? It's been a clinic out there. They are lighting it up and really creating open looks for each other.
Well, Steve, there hasn't been much resistance and when they've been on the offensive end, so they've taken advantage of it.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court right now for the Trailblazers, they've got Terrell Wright. Chris Kaman out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. Then it's Damian Lillard, and it's a Flalo in a 2-guard. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
A look here at last year in the NBA, where the Hornets ranked. First in fewest turnovers a game. 4th in opponent points per game. And they were top 10 in opponent field goal percentage. That's a good indicator of a team getting it done defensively.
And this is a smart team, Clark, because you talked about the turnovers, #1 in the league in terms of fewest mistakes. And that's when they were at their best. When they controlled the action offensively, they were able to execute without making mistakes, and that allowed them to set up their defense at the other end. And this was a really well-disciplined club.
And Aldridge slams it in. Now, as far as the defense goes, Clark, that is not what's going to keep them in this lead.
Yeah, but from the other perspective, you can see just how much that dunk pumped